It does not get any easier.
No, it doesn't. Obviously, even last night's game, I'll take that because it's probably not. It wasn't great scheduling, so I'm going to own that one. Finals week after obviously a rivalry game, but quite honestly, it was South Dakota State was a guaranteed game for us, a chance for us to make some money and bust. So it is what it is. So I'm going to take ownership of that one. It's not. I didn't put that together well, and even the schedule as a whole. Generally, it was put together for a veteran team, and we had some guys obviously leave our program late in the summer. So that the good thing about it is exposing us right now to where we need to continue to grow, and that's the beauty of it. So. It doesn't get easier, but the growth is hard and winning is hard, and I think that's what our guys are starting to really understand, these news guys, and understanding that it's a day-by-day process and you can't cut corners, and we're not going to cut corners even though the results aren't going our way. We're going to stay the course and really get good at our staples and understand when the staples are in order, good things will happen for you. The results will happen for you.
When you're down in Omaha, Max said that, wait till you see Gonzaga's size.
Yeah.
Was he kidding?
No. They are bigger, thicker, and more skilled. Even last night, South Dakota State's size was big, 250. Their guards were 225 at 6'4", just a bigger team. That shows you why they've beaten two high major teams, because they got that type of size. So it's. That's the thing. We've always been undersized, so it's something we have to obviously look at as we move forward to the Summit League in recruiting maybe bigger, thicker bodies that allow us to compete, obviously with them. But it is what it is, and we are who we are. So we're, the thing we've always been able to battle is we're lack size, but we have the quickness. So we got to find ways to maximize that.
What are some lessons you guys learned from playing those bigger teams earlier on in the season that you can take to Gonzaga?
I think the big thing is when they stayed within the framework of what we were trying to do. That's always been the message, when we've been consistent with the game plan and not straying from that. We have a lot of young guys who tend to stray when things aren't going well for them. A shot's not falling, or for us in general, shots aren't falling. Then they stray defensively and they start straying offensively. So, but we've shown them clips after clips when they're doing their job, good things, even though it's Creighton or Nebraska, Troy, who was really good, NDSU, it doesn't matter. Just when they stay the course with that, good things happen to them. So now we got to be able to string more consistent minutes with that, and I think that's the biggest thing they've learned. When they do their job and they're consistent with the game plan and our system and our staples, positive things happen for them.
Is frustration creeping in, and are you able to maybe nip that in the bud, as it were?
Yeah, I think so. We've had some really good conversations and good film sessions. The more frustration, I think they're putting so much pressure on themselves with the shooting the basketball. That's probably where the frustration's at. The effort's been good. I didn't think the effort was good in the first half last night. Again, I thought they got out to a solid start. We're down 22-17, got in foul trouble, and it just kind of the bottom dropped out. And that's where these young kids, they're young, and it's a new experience for them, and we just got to continue to develop them, help them come along in those type of environments. But I think it's more the frustration with their shooting, because they know they're better shooters, and they just feel like with every make or miss, like the world's on their shoulders, and they can't feel that way. Again, it goes back to the process. Was it a good shot? That's what they got to focus on, not always the outcome if it goes in or not.
You feel like you're working harder with a younger team this year to try and get them?
It's good. Like, to me, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not perfect. I have a long way to go as a coach. It's great growth for me. And that's why I'm putting we had a meeting last night. It's like, it's not about my ego. I want to do what's best for us, not about your guys. It can't be about your ego at all. We just have to continue to put that stuff aside. I'm growing. It's going to help me become a better coach. I'm good with that. And I always say this, if we have to go through these things to help us get to where we want to go to in Big Sky, then we have to do those things. It's stretching us right now. We got guys like Gino and Tez and Connor are going through leadership for the first time. It's new. It's hard on them. So now you realize how good of a leader and person and player Quentin Hooker really was. That safety blanket's gone. So it's a lot of growing pains right now, and growing pains aren't comfortable. But I truly feel this team's together for the next 2 years. We got to go through this stuff to really get to where we want to go to.
One game left out of conference, then you're in conference play. What are things that you want your team to take away from the non-conference, knowing that really it all just does come down to conference play and winning your conference tournament?
The big thing, like I talked about, stick to what has been successful for us. Don't put so much pressure on yourself on making shots or thinking you're the guy that can get us going offensively. We need to get going defensively. That's the big defensive. We have to be a lot. I mean, we got to have a 360 on that one because they're definitely capable, but I think they allow their offense. They're young and they're not always mentally tough to where they allow their offensive side of the ball to affect their effort and their focus and their toughness and their discipline defensively. And when we are good, is we are scoring off our defense, and right now that's not happening.
Is it almost a breath of fresh air once conference play starts? It's kind of 0-0 in the conference and kind of a new start almost?
It is, and it's that, and just you're familiar with, well, there are some new coaches in the league this year, but at least you're familiar with the landscape. I think this year we've had our non-league schedule is one of the toughest in our league by far, and that's ultimately that's what you want to do to expose you to that stuff. But with a young team, probably where I made a mistake, probably made it a little bit too tough because you still want some confidence going into league play, and going into Saturday's game, we got to find small victories for ourselves. We're going to go in there and we got to play hard. We got to compete. What some things can we get better at that we can't control? And that's your preparation, that's your effort, and that's your unselfishness. So we can work on those things.
When you put the schedule together, I mean, you don't know what the teams are going to be like, but I think took a look last week, and 4 of the teams in the top 64 of the RPI.
Yeah.
Is this by far the toughest?
Oh, it's not even close. And it's what's made it tough. There's just hasn't been a lot of prep time in between the really good opponents. You got Creighton, you got NDSU, you got. Obviously, SDSU, now you got Gonzaga, but even in Hawaii, Troy was a tournament team, had 4 starters back. There's just that's where I can grow and learn as a coach, and I'll tell you, I got to do a better job of, it's tough, but, because of the success we had last year, it's always been difficult to get games. This year was extremely difficult, but that preparation and getting our guys to understand that and giving them time to grow and ease into things, but like I said, I think there's going to be some positives from it because it's forced us to grow faster than probably they were ready to.
If you look back at your time in the Big Sky, it seems like we've been down this road before, but once the Big Sky season starts, it's kind of like your comfort zone.
Yep.
By the time you figure it out, you're in the Final Four of the league tournament.
Yeah, in all honesty, I feel we're only one game off of where I thought we would be. So I know we lost here. A loss is a loss, a win's a win. It doesn't matter by the margin. I feel we're one game back where I thought we would be at this time going into Gonzaga. So can we make that up during the league play? I think we can.
How do you think your team has progressed in terms of taking quality shots or shots within the system?
Tough, that's inconsistent. Guys that we've talked to have shown growth, and then it's another guy who decides to take poor shots. So it's all new guys too. So we're just constantly getting them to understand that when you got a veteran team, they understand what it is. But shooting, like anything I said, it's all about confidence and getting our guys. We're not telling them not to shoot. It's still about taking a good shot, because when you do, and you got floor balance, the results are better. But when you start taking poor shots, that's when teams can get out and get easy baskets on you. So it's a lot of film. It's a lot of teaching moments, and but they have to be more consistent with that. And again, when you're veterans, which I think Cortez and Gino's really grown in that area, and Connor do it, when it's important to them, it's going to be important to the other guys, and I think they're seeing that, but it's still, even between the lines, those guys holding each other accountable for that.